Hello YouTube, this is Omid here, bringing in another Black Ops 2 Zombies Theories discussion video. This one I'm reacting to the recent leak on the Amazon website that gave quite a few details on the upcoming DLC 1 Revolution for the Black Ops 2 DLC. It gave a brief summary of all of the maps, including the Zombies one. So, a few details have emerged. What I'm going to do is discuss the details that it mentioned and how this could affect the map. Quite a few of its details have put some of my older theories completely out the window, but let's have a look at them. So the first piece of information says that it takes place in China, so my LA theory was completely out, and the next Zombies map will be a Chinese-based one. Also, it mentioned downtown, which shows that the map would be city-based, as we could have, we all guessed from the picture that was provided in the leaked poster. Now, in terms of which Chinese city this map could be in, there really isn't any way to tell for sure, because China has a lot of major cities that could have buildings and sky landscapes and skylines that could look like that, and at the rate China's growing, if this is set in any way in the future, which could well be, there's just too many cities to discuss. So we know the map takes place in a Chinese city, it looks like, but beyond that it doesn't really offer many clues. It also says that the map will be like an MC Escher drawing or something like that. Now, for those who don't know who MC Escher is, he's the one who draws lots of illusions. I'll link some of the of his works below, but basically he draws her illusions and impossible things that I think one of his is the never-ending staircase that just keeps going up. And the reference to that in this indicates that whatever the Chinese city this will be in, it'll be sort of messed up by the rockets that have hit the Earth. So, like, all the buildings will have collapsed and bent in upon each other. Some rooms will be like on their side. Some might even be upside down. And it hints at a sort of close quarters environment to the Zombies map. So instead of wide open spaces that we've seen in Transit, a very close quarters and compact zombie map, similar to, I'd say, Verrucht would be the last, or Verrucht 5. You know, those kind of indoors mainly, very close quarters maps, but the design won't be structured like that. It'll be very chaotic, I'd say, with like no way to really guess what part of the map will look like what. It'll all be sort of bent in, rubble, collapse, all that kind of stuff, which could make navigation very hard. So it sounds like quite a challenging map. Apart from that, so that's most of the details that were given on the map itself. So taking from that, there's a few other things that we can guess about it. The first thing is that Chinese cities are infamous around the world for being incredibly polluted, which might mean we'll see the return of the transit fog, because obviously Treyarch seems to like doing these big maps. I mean, they've done Call of the Dead, they did Moon, they've done from Transit. They really like making bigger and bigger maps, and because of the console limitations that they're restricted by, the fog's a good way of being able to handle these maps. So you know, if Die Rise takes from the previous Treyarch tradition of bigger and bigger zombie maps, then we could definitely see the return of the fog, but instead of the transit fog, we'll get see sort of smog. Not sure if that will affect gameplay in any way apart from before, but you know, that's the kind of thing we'll see. In terms of guns from the box side, the guns I'd suggest in my previous videos were based on the kind of guns you'd see in LA, you know, old American weapons, because, you know, with the gun culture in America, you can pretty much put any gun you like in the box for an American environment, and it fits in, because you could find those guns somewhere in an apocalypse, because there'd be all the stores and private collectors and all that kind of stuff. But for China, you know, if they want to change the boxes to reflect it, I'm not sure if they'll do this, but I'd like to see that being done, definitely. You know, the box loadout changing to reflect the environment. Now, for all the Chinese and Soviet guns that you'd find in China, obviously it's unlikely that Treyarch would put any new basic guns that aren't wonder weapons into a zombies map pack. I know there's the Peacekeeper SMG, which could be included in zombies because they seem to be advertising it so much. But for the zombie guns that we have in the files for Black Ops 2, that they could put in no bother whatsoever, we're actually quite limited. Most of the Chinese guns like the Type 25 and the King Kong CQB, you know, those kind of guns are already in the zombies box, so there's a fair amount of Chinese weaponry already in it. But the other sort of Soviet and Chinese guns that you could add into the box to reflect the environment that I could find would be the Makarov pistol, the AN-94, the AK-47, the Dragunov, and the QBB LSW light machine gun. Of those, that the sparks of the most interest would probably be the Dragunov, because we've already seen the Dragunov in Black Ops 1 zombies, so its return could be a sort of similar to the Galil or the M14 or the MP or something like that. But then I thought what would be a pretty cool idea for Treyarch to do is when you pack a bunch of the Dragunov, instead of getting the one you got from Black Ops 2, you got the SVU AS from Black Ops 2, because the SVU in multiplayer is a modern version of the Dragunov. They're the same gun basically, they've just been modified a bit. So I think that would be quite funny if you put in the Dragunov and got back the SVU AS, because they're pretty much the same gun, only a different layout. So pack a bunch in the Dragunov and getting the SVU out would be quite an interesting twist on the pack-a-punch feature. I'd like to quite like to see that. Apart from that, I don't really have many more ideas on how it could be, because obviously a lot of the gameplay features I talked about when I was talking about LA as a zombie map, they can pretty much be carried over to the China map that we know we'll be getting. So all the special zombies, the zip lines, the helicopters, you know, they can be lifted over. Obviously it wouldn't be a Black Hawk anymore, it would be the Chinese variant. Not sure what that would be, but I know they've definitely got quite a few from the campaigns that they could use. The last thing that I'd like to talk about the revelation about it being a Chinese map is that there has been one mention in Zombies before of China. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a Wii, so I can't show you any footage of this or, you know, use any of my own footage, but I know for a fact that in the Wii version of Kino der Toten, there's an audio Easter egg. I don't know how it's activated, but basically it plays what sounds like a documentary of a Chinese steelworks that refers to workers being tired and being put on drugs and stuff like that. I'll link a video to a channel that was detailing it. Full credit to them, that's how I found out about this. But it means that, you know, this, you know, could Treyarch have been hitting at this for that long? I don't know, possibly not, but if this video, you know, if this documentary or anything has any relation to Die Rise, that would indicate that apart from the city that's being collapsed, there might be a industrial and steel plant as part of the map, which, you know, that I think that would be quite interesting to see, you know, one of those massive centres. There's definitely a lot of opportunity for interesting and convoluted and nonsensical design being put into the map through the steel plant, all the tubes and vats and that kind of stuff, a lot of hazards and that kind of stuff in the environment. But yeah, that's about it. So this has been me talking about the China revelation from Amazon being leaked and how this could affect my theories and that kind of stuff. So until next time, where I hope a trailer will be released and I'll, you know, do a dissection or something like that. This has been Omagent. Thank you and goodbye.